the way the CGI appears, for instance, the thing is getting out of your view or is falling. That is, one of the things that it's amazing how people can catch that. How long is it going to be until everybody figures that out? How smart do you have to be to actually figure that out? It's not that hard. And like here, for example, what Ido is showing here, this harnesses in the ISS, the whole history of the ISS. Anybody who's not American, hasn't been brainwashed from childhood, because you can kind of give them a discount. If you're so patriotic, you love your country, you don't know about the coming of the Pilgrims and the killing of everybody there and the
right.
genocide of the Indians. They hid that from you, so then you love America and the flag and whatever else.
Well,
you get some kind of
celebrate
discount.
it. They celebrate it with Columbus Day.
Yeah, they have freaking Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah,
total slap in their face. Yeah, pretending that they actually love the colonizers coming in. It's just insane. But still, even if you ignore that stuff, and I guess these people have absolutely no objectivity. It's weird. I guess the idea is that as a child, if an astronaut shows up in school, you immediately lose completely your sense because they can twist around and turn around or something. You don't know how the trick is done. But then if people start exposing that trick, how long does it take before you wake up? And you guys have done it. So, I think a lot of people are going to, there's no other way. There's no reverse way out of it. That's one of the things. So it's like one of those valves that only goes one way.
Right.
And so it's going to overflow. They have no chance of surviving this, I think. It's my opinion. Even with the censorship makes it worse. In the case of Brazil, the censorship is making it way worse because the Brazilians have a huge heightened sensitivity to censorship of artists and free thinkers because there was a dictatorship and journalists and people were killed by the government, by the military. So when they sniff something's being attacked and censored, they want to know what it is. It's going to drive their curiosity. So
right.
Huge shot in the foot there.
And there should be so much proof of the globe that, anybody looking should immediately find that proof and then just go back to believing the globe, but that's not what happens. So
I thought that was going to happen for me when I first looked into it. I thought I'd just look up 1,000 proofs of the globe, and I was just absolutely shocked that there were none.
Well, I think we all did. We all have done the same thing and kept waiting. And even when you hear one thing or another, and you start to realize that all of their explanations are just excuses, they don't match. If somebody could ever explain to me how a plane flying west isn't faster than a plane flying east, why is it the opposite with anything other than just nonsense? Oh, the atmosphere moves with it. At what point does that stop? We send up a helium balloon. At some point, the atmosphere can't keep carrying it along, but yet it still does move along. Well, that tells me that it's hovering over a stationary place. It's certainly not spinning. It's just crazy that they have all these excuses and constant answers that just don't fit unless you just take it on the fact that, this is coming from scientists much smarter than me and I just need to back down and bow to them.
Right. Yeah, that's the typical thing you see from those scientists who says, I have a problem with my tooth, I go to the dentist.
Right.
Whereas actually things are not that simple. It's not like one specialty does it all kind of thing. It's just so simplistic the way they
how
think.
can you compare the dentist with a philosophical, the most aggressive and difficult question of all the human beings?
Right.
You compare with the dentist.
It's incredible. They do it. That's what they do.
Yeah.
It's great
it's
because
amazing.
it's at the end you look at it and it just they do it to themselves. You don't even have to try too much. That's one of the things that makes me, how long has it been? 4 years. 4 years and they haven't come up with anything, and it just gets worse and worse for them. And all they can do is try to attack and lie. And the media, by lying so much in the same exact way, people start looking and see that it's tiring, it's repetitive. And then when they go and look up the people that they're trying to attack, they're not saying what they're saying. And so they really think that people are more stupid than they actually are. They are underestimating people, and that's going to be part of their downfall, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm not sure how much they're underestimating people because I think that a lot of people are just asleep. And I don't know how many people we can get to actually
Tough one.
Yeah, to actually wake up. That's the hard thing. But I do think that the people in control are in trouble because there's a lot of people that just no longer trust them. and that's something that they could never have. That's why I've often said that they can never come out and say the moon landings didn't happen. That would immediately cause a ripple in the governmental trust that could never be corrected. They could never come back.
What
from
do you
that.
think? Do you think they're going to refake the moon landings?
It's a good question.
No,
I was
I think
asking
that
Paul on the
he's
plane the
gonna
other day.
reset the whole world. It's gonna be a catastrophe again.
A lot of us have said that. I'm not a doom and gloom person, but I do think that the way that they're going, it kind of seems like maybe they have some answer coming up because they just keep pushing things down the road, and eventually it's going to catch up to them. So I was asking Paul on the plane the same question the other day. Is I said, what do you think is going to happen come 2024? I mean, that's the thing that they've allowed themselves now. They got 5 more years. How many times are we going to allow them to keep doing this? And like I've said before, that's going to coincide with the end of a presidential reign, and so you're going to have 2024 come. We know that NASA will push this out. It'll never happen. So then it will be 2025, and then you'll have a new president who will come and say, no, we're going to go to Mars, and then they'll push it out even more. They just keep pushing it out. So my question keeps being to people, will they attempt another fake? The problem is they have right now until minimum 2025 where they don't even have to try and fake it. So they've given themselves another 5 or 6 years that they don't really have to accomplish anything.
And you think about it, they're going to have to fake it in a way that it still matches the 69's fakery.
Right.
So they're still
That is
going to
the
have to try to
problem.
show backdrops and everything else to make it look like that's still standard.
Yeah, but remember that the Chinese sent a probe to the moon, and they showed the red ground, and they don't even care about what the United States showed in the 1960s.
No, and NASA. That's why NASA won't show what China does. It's why you don't find
That's
out
right.
because they don't want people to see the difference.
Yeah, it's funny because since they have a kind of franchise system that they don't have, they couldn't integrate their production so that they have more consistent type of graphics. And you'd expect them to be not that dumb. But they I think when they realized that they couldn't fake the proportions anymore, they're all over the place. Someone said, make the big Earth, small Earth, big moon, small moon, make everything happen.
Right.
And then we just say it's just the lens, and they did just fall for it. Something like that, because they're just all over the place. If you start looking at proportions and the sizes of things, nothing matches anything.
But I totally agree
But
with you. Go
I
ahead,
was
Ben.
just saying, with the advent of flat Earth, you think of the ability for them to keep pushing this out, I think, has ended. People, how many times have you had a troll get on your channel and say, in 5 years we're going to be in space in a hotel?
Right.
I saw that 5 years ago. It still hasn't happened.
Well, this
You know
is
what I
what
mean?
I'm saying is that they have that ability because people are so locked into this that if in 5 years nothing happened, if in 10, 15 years nothing happened, do you think that people like Red's Rhetoric or anybody like that would ever turn around and start questioning it? I don't. They would just make excuses for them all along the way. That's what they've been doing since the 70s. It's just excuse after excuse after, space is hard. Now NASA comes out with this video saying space is hard. It will always be hard, and this is why we struggle so much. And even when we fail, we triumph.
Have you ever seen? We just saw a little bit. It's kind of stupid. It's some sort of Netflix show because Lisa is expecting a baby, and then we saw that this was about women having babies. It's called Working Moms. Trash. It's total trash. But what is important about this, and we couldn't watch it because they're bad moms. They're like stupid moms. It should be called dumbass, irresponsible, idiot moms. Like the thing should be called. But it's called Working Moms.
It's too long, that title. That's why they don't put that.
One of the women, and this is what's significant, one of the women, she works in a PR firm, and what they do all day is get people whose reputations, their clients are people whose reputations have been damaged, and their job is to make shit up so that to restore their reputation. So it's exactly something form of this going on here where there's marketing people, marketing firms thinking out, what's the next little thing we need to say. So I think, following what you said, Jaron, they probably went back, this Kennedy speech is really an important speech. Let's draw on just one thing. It's hard. Let's make a little piece here, 5 minutes. It's hard. We have black people, we have white people, we have Chinese people, we have diversity. And we show we are scientists, we're courageous, and we make this beautiful piece and we throw it out there. And that should be enough to kind of, in their heads, because everything is statistical, people are not smart enough for them, they think that just the numbers they throw out are going to have an effect, with people without people actually reflecting on it. So they're trying to counter it basically on numbers. I think, it's kind of a guess, but you can see that there's an agency of people who are looking. Okay, we need to keep on restoring our image. Woo!
ISS is entering in our world.
Globebusters, mute up. Can I mute them?
I believe the reset.
Oh.